Stages of detached youth work. So mapping. So it's about finding out what's going on in the area. And we've just recently set up a new detached youth project in a rural area outside a town called Newton Abbot in Devon. And what the workers are doing at the moment is they're just going out and they're just doing a bit of mapping. They're finding out what's available in the local community. They're connecting with people, but also they're showing young people that they're there. So they're very visually identifiable. And you would have seen the uniform earlier that the youth workers and the volunteers wear. And that's so that they are they're quite visible in the community. And one of the reasons we have a uniform, not all youth projects, services or activities have a uniform, but we found it useful so that young people can identify with the youth workers. But that mapping is really important because it's about finding out what is in the local area, what is available, who's who, and where all the facilities and services are. I mentioned it's about establishing a presence where the young people are, observing but not intervening. And I often say to new youth workers that are going out to not engage young people straight away, but just to walk around and just to be really slow in the way you do that. So taking your time, walking by young people, start with just waving, saying hello. Sometimes not even that, just being there and letting young people come up to you and ask you who you are. And it's kind of building the relationship. But it's about not intervening and going into young people's space and invading them. And if it's a bit like cats, if you go into where cats are, they'll run off. So it's about building those relationships slowly. Identify yourselves and negotiate your place amongst them, because sometimes young people don't want to know. One of our detached youth workers was telling us on Friday night that they were talking to a group of young people, and we identified that one of the young people was dealing drugs, and those young people wanted the workers to go. So there was a whole issue around that and around the safeguarding, but it's about how you work with situations like that. But it is about working with young people, so you build that relationship with them and that trust and that respect. Establishing relationships. So identify threshold moments that lead you to believe you have established some trust and that engagement. And that's when young people are being welcoming. You've got to look at body language. If young people are turning their backs on you, they don't want you there. If they're talking to and engaging with you and continuing the conversation, those are good identifiers that young people want you there. And then that's the basis in which you can build the work. And then you get that participation. So it's supporting and intervening, creating or establishing a place where you interact with the young people. And that may lead to community activities. So I talked about the litter picking. Yeah, that's just one example of how that can work. We've worked with local traders as well, where local traders have offered young people that we've engaged with discount on takeaways, all that kind of stuff, just to further build the relationships. But to summarize this whole spectrum, it starts with the mapping, the engagement, and the participation. And that can take a good 18 months from starting. So it doesn't happen straight away, and it's about taking that time. So we often say when you go out, it can take anywhere between 6 to 18 months to actually get that participation from young people. So I've taken some of these from the Federation for Detached Youth Work, their handbook. It's worth having a look, and some of these references.